Hi, I'm Lori Pinhorn, social worker and holistic nutritionist.
And hi, I'm Lisa Pinhorn. I'm a pivotal response therapist, an adult educator, and an autism mom.
And we are here today to do this video to help explain in a bit more detail about our 12-week Calmer Kids program.
Yeah, we've been doing this program for a couple years now, and we've had lots of really great experiences. And each time we take on another family, we learn something new, and we get shifted in another direction of learning
Yep.
more things and taking on more academic stuff. So it's been a time to just to revamp and revise things. A
Yeah.
little.
So anybody who's done our program in the past, and there's been lots of people, this new 12-week program is pretty similar, but there's been some upgrades to it.
Yeah, there has. We've both of us have gone on and done some certification training with the Merit Center with Dr. Stuart Shanker, who's our guy who we really like.
He's our new guru.
He's our new guru, and we really have kind of put more practice into the program, and we've also gone very deeply into the neurobiology about how we exchange information with our children.
Exactly.
Mm.
So you're probably watching this video because maybe there's a part of you that's concerned about your child and some behavior that you might be seeing at school or at home. And maybe you're even going back and forth to doctor's appointments and counseling appointments, and you might even be considering, is there a medication that could be helpful and all of that stuff. Most of the families that come and meet with us and reach out to us, they're very concerned about their children and how they're functioning at school or at home. Maybe sometimes there's a lot of emotional flooding going on. Maybe some people are worried about their kids' sleep, they're picky eating, they're not eating very well, or they're possibly even being aggressive towards themselves or other people.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes our children are really self-isolating and they don't want to go to school, they don't want to do things that they used to love to do, they don't want to go to dancing class anymore and all that stuff. So we are working with families who are feeling pretty stressed. And some of the material that we try to help families understand is that this is probably one of the most stressful times to raise young children.
It's definitely, for sure. I mean, the research is pretty solid in the fact, and teachers are seeing it in their day-to-day lives, working with children and families, that this is a very, very high anxiety generation.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that it's been really the approach that we have always been told to do with families and with children. We've actually figured out now that we were just really giving people the wrong messages.
Yeah, a lot of it was misleading and sometimes made the anxiety even worse than what it actually is.
So our program is very different than what you would get in other places, because we really do come at dealing with the anxiety in a very holistic way, which means we don't really go right to the anxiety source to figure things out. We sort of do a little over here and a little bit over here and a little bit over here, and then things sort of start to even out a little bit more, especially with the reframing of the behaviors, to start looking at the behaviors, at the communication that kids are really not doing okay, and then we assess that and then help balance things out a bit more.
So if you are a family and you know of a family whose children are not able to self-regulate, and what that really means is that I start to feel myself getting overwhelmed, and what do I do to sort of pump the brakes on that feeling and come back to a calm, focused, and alert state? Our philosophy is that we teach the parents how to do this and the theory behind the self-regulation. Then we give them activities to practice, and what happens is the parents and the kids in the family are learning this skill set at the same time, and some amazing things happen.
It does. It's really exciting.
Yeah.
There's always, when we get to like week 6 or so, people go, boom.
Yeah, I know.
And it's really incredible things can happen for their families.
So this is what happens when you are part of this program. You get to work with us for 12 weeks. You will have a weekly consultation meeting with either myself or Lisa, and in that process, you're going to learn all the cutting edge, forward-thinking mental health management. And what you might notice is that something that when you get this information, you might have been really thinking, okay, my child has a diagnosis of this. That might not be the end result. It might be that we just had to help the whole family learn how to rebalance and recalibrate the energy and tension in their home. And there's a way to to do that. We see it happen all the time.
We do. It's really
Yeah.
wonderful.
So this is a jam-packed, resource-filled program.
Mm-hmm.
Besides a really good assessment about what's going on and your 12 sessions with either myself or Lisa, where you're going to learn all the theory behind this, and you're going to learn some of the great science around nutrition, sleep, rest, play, and how that all holistically comes together to help everybody in your home function a little bit better.
Yeah, and the other thing that done, we've always done homework, but we have changed things a little bit more. So we're going to do some really on the ground supportive around practice, because what we have learned is that people get really good at the practice when you practice. When you think about how you're going to on the ground interact today, or when you and then you reflect on how that worked and what you did. So we are actually going to do 12 weeks of practice, and each week we're going to have a different thing that we're going to ask you to go do in your house and reflect on how it worked, and so you can actually feel what that feels like when things change and things start to move in a different direction for your child or for you, or how you reframe their behavior, how you learn to play again, how you learn to do all of these wonderful things to establish some really good, healthy, holistic practices in your house.
Yeah. And self-regulation, emotional regulation is never over.
Never.
We're always learning how to do it more effectively and have more of an awareness of what it is that we really need in order to be a good self-regulator. So even us as adults who've been practicing this for a really long time will always relearn or learn something new.
Yes.
And that's why self-regulation is a practice. It never ends. And it's unfortunate that most of us were never taught this material. It should be curriculum in school.
We're hoping it
We
will
be someday, won't it?
Yes.
So if you are, if this sounds like an interesting process for you and for your family, there's a place to click to get in contact with us, and we usually take a group of families in at the beginning of every month. And so if that's something you're interested in, then you should reach out and make contact.
Absolutely. We're waiting.
Okay, have a great day. Bye.